Kohalayim La, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rechakudash. Shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. Back again with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Hamashiach Yahushai. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 19, verse 10. And I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, See you, do it not. I am your fellow servant and of your brethren that have the testimony of Yahushai. Worship the Most High, for the testimony of Yahushai is the spirit of prophecy. And that's was John the Revelator in the island of Patmos. And he was worshiping this holy angel, and the holy angel told him, See you, don't do that. I'm your fellow brethren, and I'm also a servant of the Lord. Worship Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, for the testimony of Yahushai is the spirit of prophecy. So that's the spirit that we're meant to be moving in these latter days. So this is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, starting at verse 14. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. And this gospel is being preached in all the world. The whole world is hearing about this gospel, and where we're arriving the end of this kingdom. We're arriving the end. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, starting at verse 47. Verily I say unto you, that he shall make him ruler over all his goods. And if that evil servant shall say in his heart, My Lord delayeth his coming, and shall begin to smite his fellow servant, and to eat and drink with the drunken, the Lord of that servant shall come in a day when he looketh not for him, and in an hour that he is not aware of. See, and you don't want to be in that spirit of when the Lord returns, you're not prepared. You want to be in that spirit of being aware to what's going on in the world. And we're going to be tested. We're going to be tried. Because there's a lot of things that are happening in these latter days. We're seeing wars and rumors of wars. We're seeing AI developing. We're seeing a lot of things happen. So we're meant to be aware to what's going on. This is by BBC News, by Jonathan Bealey. It says, UK citizen army preparing the pre-war generation for conflict. Alright, what does the UK citizen army mean? They're trying to get people or citizens in the UK, your regular citizens in the UK, to join the army. And it also goes into the repercussions of those that don't want to join the British Army. And they're going to make it mandatory at one point. It says, talk of wider war in Europe and potential need for mass mobilization or a citizen army may sound alarming, but the head of the British Army, General Sir Patrick Sanders is not alone in issuing a national call to prepare for a major conflict on European soil. Last week, another senior NATO military chief said countries needed to be on alert and expected the unexpected. Adam Rob Baver, who heads the Alliance Military Committee, said the public needed to change their mindset for an era when anything can happen at any time. And that's the time that we're in. We're in a time where anything can happen at any time. All hell can break loose at any point given in time. Jacob Strubble. Reading on, the UK Defence Secretary has also warned that we need to be prepared for a war. In his first major speech on defense, Grant Shapps said the country was moving from a post-war to a pre-war world. He highlighted numerous threats, but there is one common thread amid all these warnings: Russia. Britain must train citizen army military chief warns. You see? So they're trying to train citizens in the system to join the army. It says Germany's defense minister Boris recently told a German newspaper we have to take into account that Vladimir Putin might even attack a NATO country one day. While he said such an attack is unlikely now, our experts expect a period of 5 to 8 years in which this could be possible. It says how other countries are preparing. And this is the point right here. It says jailed for refusing conscription. You see? Jailed for refusing conscription. So you might have to go to jail for refusing to join the British Army. Okay. Revelation 2 verse 10 says, fear none of those things which you shall suffer. Look, meaning behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that you may be tried, and you shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give you a crown of life. So if you're faithful unto death, the Lord will give you a crown of life. Now this 10 days, it can be one day, it can be 1 week, it can be 10 months, all right? It can be 2 months, it can be 2 weeks, depending on how the Lord wants it to be. But also you're going to have brothers that are going to receive that standard. So, jailed for refusing conscription. A number of northern European countries, including Sweden, already have a form of conscription for their armed forces. Conscription requires young men and women to serve for a limited time in uniform. It means that some of the population will have had some military training and can be assigned to reserve units should war break out. In Sweden and Norway, conscription is partial. Not everyone gets drafted, but it boosts the strength of the professional armed forces, which is often relatively small. Finland, NATO's newest member and a country which has 800-mile border with Russia, has wider conscription. Around 80% of male population complete some form of military service. Refusal can mean a jail sentence, though there is the option of civilian service out of uniform too. You see, so it says refusal can mean a jail sentence. So they might send you an envelope, a letter to your house and say, listen, you need to join the army. Okay. Or they might put you in jail. put you in a cell, man, because you refuse to join the British Army. See, this is that dragon speaking his flames, man. This dragon speaking his flames. Let's go to Additions to Esther. All right, let's go to the book of Additions to Esther. Okay. Additions to Esther, chapter 10, verse 7. And the two dragons are I and Aman, and the nations were those that were assembled to destroy the name of the Jews. Because ultimately these, I'm talking about the the aristocrats. I'm talking about the elites of these biblical nations. They're not gonna go for war. All right, they're gonna destroy the name of the Jews. They're gonna use you Israelites to join the army. And they've already psychologically destroyed you Israelites, but they're gonna physically destroy you by putting you on battleground. All right. Additions to Esther chapter 11 verse 6. And behold, two great dragons came forth ready to fight. All right, and this great dragon is getting ready to fight, and now he's psychologically fighting their threatening, saying refusal of joining the army is what can mean a jail sentence. So they're gonna be like, if you don't want to join the British Army, if you don't want to join the citizen army, then we're gonna have to put you to what? Put you to jail. So it says, Additions to Esther chapter 11 verse 7, verse 6, and behold, two dragons came forth ready to fight, and their cry was great. Alright, and you see Esau against Esau, two dragons, man. You know, because they're red, man. A dragon is usually red. You got these Edomites in Russia, they're like onto a dragon, man. And these Edomites in Britain, they're like onto a dragon as well. Ready to fight, man. They're getting ready to fight themselves. And their cry was great. And at their cry, all nations prepared to battle. Right? And you're seeing two dragons fight. All right, Russia and Ukraine. These two dragons, they're fighting each other. And our own nations are getting ready to battle. You got the UK giving equipment to the Ukrainians. Right? And other nations are just getting ready. Even Palestine. Look at these devils fighting each other, and other nations are getting prepared to battle. All right, but ultimately, this is gonna boil down to what? That they might fight against the righteous people, because that's where this whole thing is gonna lead to. All right, because ultimately they want to fight against you Israelites. All right, they want to fight against you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. Verse 8, and lo, a day of darkness and obscurity, tribulation and anguish, affliction a great uproar upon earth. Verse 9, and the whole righteous nation was troubled, because the whole nation of Israel is going to go through Jacob's trouble. The whole nation. And the whole righteous nation was troubled, fearing their own evils, and were ready to perish. You're going to have so many people that are going to be fearing their own evils. You're going to think like, raw, like, what was I doing? Because, the righteous will scarcely be saved. So you're going to be fearing your own evil, saying, I hope I didn't commit so much sin that the Lord doesn't destroy me, man. It says, then they cried unto the Most High, the elect, and upon their cry, as it were from a little fountain, was made a great flood, even much water. Alright? And that water, like crying, man, hey, You cry to the Lord is going to help you, man. It says, the light and the sun rose up, and the lowly were exalted and devoured the glorious. And that's what's ultimately going to happen. The lowly, the elect, is going to devour what? The glorious. Because ultimately, Esau, Edom, the so called white man, he's going to be brought low. And Israel, the elect, is going to be brought high. So it says how the lowly were exalted and devoured the glorious, because right now these Edomites are in their glory. Okay. So refusal can mean a jail sentence, though there is an option of civilian service out of uniform too. Is the UK conscription for a citizen army a realistic plan? In the UK National Service, the old countries all named the conscription ended in 1960. See? So they really want to get people to commit suicide. Now we know this system is gonna fall. Only a fool would join the army. Only the biggest fool would join the British army. Because at the end of the day, according to biblical prophecy, this kingdom is set up to fall. So why would you defend something that's going to fall? That's committing suicide. That's absolute foolishness. Because when you read the scriptures on the stone, this empire is an iron and clay system. And that stone that Daniel, let me get it, saw, Daniel chapter 2, starting at verse 35. Then was the iron, the clay, the silver, and the gold broken to pieces together, and became like chaff of the summer threshing floors. All right, hang on. Let me read verse 34. Daniel chapter 2, verse 34. You saw, because thou is old British English, but it's meant to be in modern terms, you say you saw, or thou sawest, till that a stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon his feet, that were of iron and clay, and break them to pieces. All right, because the infrastructure of this system is what? Is the reincarnated ancient pagan Roman Empire. That's why the EU was created by what? The Treaty of Rome. All right, this system is an iron and clay system. And that stone, all right, which is Yahweh Shai, is going to destroy this infrastructure, this system. Okay? So when that stone destroys the image, what's going to happen? When the stone destroys the image, it's going to crash down. So that means that this system was preordained to fall. It was preordained. You know, in this Bible, in the scriptures, this script that we're reading, it's written that this system is designed to fall according to the scriptures. So if it's designed to fall, why would we join the army when this system is designed to fall? That's only someone who lacks common sense would join the army. But anyways, hope this video was edifying. Carry on enjoying and having faith. Anyways, call Allah Imla. Yahweh Shem Yahshua. Shalom.